Well, that's incredible what you're doing, man. And I'm so proud of you. So any way I can share it and point people to the direction of the raffles, just let me know. Cause I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if why I do so much for charities now in the shed is because I didn't do enough when I was playing. But when you
Yeah.
hear a young guys that get it at your age, that's pretty cool.
Well, I think it's kind of the first time that I've really gone out on a limb, to be honest. I mean, every year, like Bell X Talk will come around in
Yeah.
January, I think. And like I always like have these ideas, like some shit, and then I just don't do it, you know. And I'm like, that's kind of actually a little bit the story of my like creative life. Is like I get these ideas, I might start it 50% through, and then I just drop it. And this one, like, I got the idea, I
And you're
ran it past,
doing it. Yeah.
well, yeah, I ran it past the office staff, and they were like, "Yeah, it's great. Like, let's go." And so start to finish, this thing, I think we filmed on Wednesday and Friday, and now it's what's today? Tuesday. So Tuesday. So like 6 days it took to get this thing completely up and online. And I don't know. I guess in the past, you think that these ideas, they have to be so intricate. It's
And
like this
it's going to
big
take
thing.
so much work. And that's the same with
Yeah,
what I'm doing, man. Um,
yeah.
like
No,
when
you
I
just got
think
to do it.
you just do it. Like, it's like with
Yeah,
the raffles. If I couldn't do it without Sean Collins in the UK, but him doing the website, I'm like, man, I'm going to host a golf tournament. Do you think I could do registration on the website so I don't have to deal with all the stuff? And then he
yeah.
did it for me, and like, it's done. So folks, I'm
Nice.
having a golf tournament June 25th, Kincardine, Ontario. And you can register now. It is now live at aleshockeytales.com, folks. And
Let's
we are
go.
going to have a time. And I've booked a band. They are called Roy's Garage. And I listened to them last summer. And they're going to have the place rocking. So June
June 25th.
25th, 2 p.m. shotgun. We're going to have a roast beef dinner. And then Roy's Garage is going to rock the place.
What city?
Kincardine, Ontario, Canada, at Ainsdale Golf Course, folks. $150 a player, and we will have a charity for any money made or an open bar.
Yeah. I love it. All right, June 25th. See if we
Yeah.
can work that one in.
I know there's a lot of people from all over the place, and most of the listeners are from the UK. So I'm putting myself out on a limb that I can fill a golf course with friends of friends, and like, it doesn't matter who you are,
100%.
everybody's welcome to my golf course. And
Well,
it's going to be a time.
the other thing though too is like this is going to be year one and guaranteed to be a good time, and then watch it
Then
build.
right,
Like
and then it's like,
yeah.
so I know you got a connection to him, and it's like the first idea for the performer would obviously be Boston Levi,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think he's probably out of my price range.
I, I don't know, man.
He's a shed guy though, folks. He's been
Yeah,
on.
he's a shed guy. He just sent me a new song today, man. It is the best that he's put out. So sick.
Oh man, he's good. He's just like, when sometimes I put him on, it's just mesmerizing.
Well, look at this. Look at this conversation. I'm kind of outing. I'm outing myself right now a little bit as an illegal, but so here's my conversation with Mike. So there's the link of the new song.
Oh, okay.
And then here's me listening to it in the car with my headphones on because I don't have an aux cord in my little Volkswagen.
And
I don't know if you're supposed to drive with noise canceling headphones, but hey,
you got to get into it.
When Boston Levi sends you a song, you listen to it.
He is quite crafty, isn't he?
Yes, I'm very proud. Hopefully get together this summer and do some stuff.
So, and you're into like what, videography? You said you're artsy, but like, you're into lots of shit.
Yeah.
Did you do the video? Cause like I saw some of the stuff you're posting. I thought you have a lot of talent, sir.
Yeah. I had a lot of help. The IFK marketing team here, like, they're first off, they're so much fun. That's the best part. It's like you bring them an idea and they're like, let's go, you know, and then it's just right onto it. So Raquel and Eddie and Kim. So I had a couple different cameras on the days that we were doing the jackets as guys were coming into practice. None of the guys knew. Kind of kept it a surprise. They were just walking in like it's a normal day. We actually lost the night before. So, you know, you come in and you're dragging your shoulders a little bit. It's a nice sunny day in Helsinki, which, you know, is rare. And so, yeah, we had a couple cameras going, and then I edited the video together. There's a part, it's a music video with a guy that I met here, Freddi Waselius, super talented. He's got a song called Spellbound that I always thought was super catchy. And so I filmed that part. His son filmed me playing drums. I don't know. It's just this hodgepodge. There's a bunch of different videographers that deserve credit. I clipped it together, and then Eddie, I think, is going to start doing some short form stuff with it, and then all the guys get the credit as the artists on the jacket, which a couple of the guys were like, I haven't done an art project since I was like in the third grade. So they're throwing paint at the jackets and they're loving it, man. I don't know. I feel like in the hockey world, we don't get in touch with our creative side nearly enough. And which I believe is ironic because I more and more I feel like as an athlete, I feel more like an artist. Like you go out on the ice and you're
performing,
like that's your craft.
almost.
Yeah, you're performing. That's your craft.
But the most popular players were the ones with personality, right?
True too. Yeah.
Like
a little flair to what they're doing.
Yeah. I had so much to say there, man. You really hit me in the another way we know each other though is Mac and Mosey were just on yesterday. I haven't even had time to post about that yet, but Mosey said you're just a killer at like writing wedding speeches and like playing guitar and like the whole deal. You can turn a wedding like right upside down with emotion.
Well, that's how I got into songwriting.
So have you wrote any of Boston Levi's?
No, but I can. So me and Boston lived in the same flat in Cardiff, and we were.
How did that end up happening? That you got two art like crafty fellas like you guys in the same apartment? Was that planned?
No, it was not planned. I didn't know him before I got to Cardiff. I remember sitting at home and I got a message from him, and it was like, "Hey, mate, we're gonna be living together." So I figured I would just reach out and say hello. And so I checked out his Instagram, and at the time, his Instagram's a little different now, but at the time he had like hundreds of covers, like cover songs, and it's all music that I like. Mumford & Sons and Giordano, like the Killers, you know, stuff like this. Like, yeah, this guy's got taste, he's got talent, and like hopefully he's a good hockey player for the Cardiff Devils' sake.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, we're in for some fun here. I had just finished singing a song that I wrote at my sister's wedding. And it's like, you know, it was a joke. I was in Newfoundland. We were on a long playoff run, which was awesome. But at the same time, when you're playing hockey into late May, early June, everybody's back home getting ready for the wedding. And I was missing family and whatever. I was just strumming on the guitar, and this song just came out of me in like 2 minutes. It's like Quinn and Naomi sitting in a tree, Kissing. Got to think on a night like this, gonna be touching more than lips. But Lynn, that's my mom, but Lynn can't say a thing because now you're married. She always wanted us to wait until we were married to have sex. So, and I'm pretty sure my sister, she did. Wink, wink. But anyway, so yeah, it was a joke. And then I got my brother to sing the second verse. and the chorus was a bunch of fun that like people could get in on. And then so that was like fresh thing, and we pulled it off. And like most people in my life, they didn't even know I could play guitar, let alone write a song. And, it was fun. It was super fun, and I caught the bug. Like, you know, it was like,
isn't it fun when you like you have the confidence to go out there and do that in front of people, and then
oh,
you
dude, I
have
was
fun with
terrified.
it, right? But then after you do it, you're like, oh man, wasn't that
Yeah.
fun, right?
Yeah, you're
You know how
right.
terrified I was to start a
Oh,
podcast and put myself out there like this.
but now you're loving it.
Now I don't give a shit what you think of me.
Yeah, there you go.
I know I'm doing
Exactly.
good things and I'm having fun, so whatever.
That's it. I mean, that, and then like, you know, like you and I wouldn't have like connected if you wouldn't have put yourself out there to do that.
Right. And I've never put
Yeah.
myself out there. And it sounds like you were very similar,
Yeah.
that like you had talents, and you're saying a lot of people in your life didn't even know you could play the guitar. Like,
Yeah. Well, and at that time I didn't really. I had like this idea that I was going to sing a song at my sister's wedding, and it forced me to practice because I couldn't bomb it. You know, you can't bomb at your sister's wedding.
no, you can't.
Well, you know, like if you're going to do something like that, you better make it good.
Mhm.
So I practiced a shit ton, and we did a good job, and we got a laugh. And so, and then so now you got that under your belt. I meet Mike, and we live together. And I'm sitting there a little bit lovesick from this chick that I was seeing in Toronto that it completely fizzled out. And it's the early days of being in Cardiff and living together. And I asked if he can like help me with this verse, and it did. It turned into a nice song. And actually, so he helped me with the first verse. We got a chorus, and that's a song called Cheap Seats that I ended up finishing later. But this is the cool part. In the process of getting Boston's like creative juices going for my song, something else hit him, and he's sitting down and he wrote "Feel It All," which is
I know that song.
exactly the one. And he wrote that in about 15 minutes.
Really?
And at the time, because he was playing around with this song that I was with, he was going so fast that I couldn't even tell what he was doing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get my camera and just video him so that I can go back and look, and then I can work out some of this stuff later. After he did that, I kept the camera rolling. And so I have footage of
Him writing.
Boston writing "Feel It All," his original single. And I turned
Isn't
that
it weird
into a
how
video.
all like things work out for a reason, and like
Right,
that you
yeah.
two, like out of all hockey players, how many guys
Oh yeah,
are gonna vibe like that?
yeah, I know. Well, in the early days, man, we were both so we both really like our space, and we were in this small apartment together, so there was a feeling out process too.
Well,
And
there
we're
always
both
would
kind of,
be, yeah.
yeah. And then when
I
you're
always had
alone,
my wife with me overseas, so I never had like a roommate other than in the coast. And
yeah.
my roommate in the coast wasn't too thrilled with me, I don't think.
Yeah, well, those are the coast days, man. He probably was holding on to NHL dreams.
Oh,
Those Wally guys.
yeah, I didn't have my wife to clean up after me, right?
Yeah,
Like,
fair
so
enough.
it was just I wasn't a good roommate, Frankie. Sorry, buddy.
Frankie. Yeah, I'll have to send you that video though.
That's really cool though, man. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, when he came on, like, yeah, like he's a star, man, isn't he?
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, like get on the train, man, because
Yeah.
I
think we
for
should have
any-
tried to get him at the first annual golf tournament because he's gonna be way too big to hit the second.
it's only a matter of time because he's got depth, he's got talent, he can sing, he's got the instrumentals, the melodies, the lyrics. Like, in my opinion, he's the full package. And I think the only thing that's
And
holding
you've
him
lived
back,
with him. You've smelt his shit, right?
yeah. Well, he's authentic, and that's like maybe the only thing holding him back is he isn't one of these like TikTok sellouts, you know?
Right.
But like he
I've
just
never even
he's
been on TikTok. I don't even know
like,
what you do.
and me not really either. I mean, I do respect people going out and hustling, and I guess like I don't know. I just really admire people that are so dedicated to their craft. They just love, whether it's hockey, music, podcasting, whatever. They love it so much that there is like this purity to it that they refuse
Stop it.
to like pander. You know, they won't
Stop
pander.
it.
And
That's why I get up at 5 a.m. to talk to people about their lives, is because
there you go.
I love this shit. When I was waiting for you to come on, my heart was still fluttering. And I'm like, I don't even know this guy. All I know is that he's seen me naked and he's played with a bunch of guys I know. And
Hey,
for some reason, my heart still flutters because I know by the end of this, we're going to be brothers.
we really skipped a lot of steps. We went straight from not knowing each other to just, hey,
I can always push the envelope a little bit, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm a bit forceful, you know?
I like breaking the ice early.
See,
you know?
when you said like I carry this around like I'm never gonna be forgotten, like that's not how I carry myself. Like I just want to blend in. Like that's how I always was. But then that night when they did all that for me, I was like, only the team ever saw the pregame speeches. Nobody knew what I was doing.
Yeah, word of mouth travels fast though.
Well, it was something.
Something.
Okay, sorry. Another guy, Boston Levi, you were a swamp rabbit with him and a devil, but another guy you were a devil and a swamp rabbit with was my road roomie, the chef Joey Haddad, who I still want to have a cook-off against someday.
Yes. And I might be beating you to the punch, but there's one more guy that came with us to Cardiff to Greenville, which is Bryce Reddick as well.
Yeah, Reds, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And there's also one other guy.
Legend. Who's the other?
The coach.
Oh, Orno.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I haven't even reached out to him about coming to the shed. I know that's a no.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So I guess there was 5 of us, but this chef, he was our captain in Greenville.
Yeah. I roomed with him. It was the first year and then the start of the second year, and we had a good vibe, man. We got along, and he's got some funny stories about me, and I'd love to have him in the shed someday.
Listen, okay, his stories are average. The contents of his stories, they're like, a lot of people have those. However, the way that he can tell a story can make you feel like
you were there.
His story is the best thing of all time. I told him last year that I want him to like chase down a stand-up comedian gig. I just want him to hit an open mic. I want to know, because obviously like I got to know him, and then I get all this small stuff and the mannerisms that he uses, and then he tells the story and I'm dying. But I want to know if he can get a complete stranger to start crying laughing the way he would do to me just eating dinner. Also, my question to you, what was his favorite conspiracy to talk about in the hotel?
I didn't really let him get into too much of that with me.
That's fair.
That's not what I'm into. No, no, it was more like an episode of 2 Ales and Hockey Tales.
Okay.
There would be some times we'd order room service. We'd order two pints each. Dougie Clarkson might come over and order 2 more. So we'd sit there and have 2 pints, the 3 of us, and shoot the shit like we were in the shed.
Love it.
That's what
he's an enlightener. He's an enlightener, Joey Haddad. Yeah. We had an absolute.
He took a passion to cooking, just like I did, right? And I'd like to have a challenge someday, maybe like a mystery box where we get the same ingredients. It's like, let's see who can make the best meal, and maybe it could be at like an annual golf tournament sometime, right?
Yeah, that would be sick. Actually, you could have a cook-off at the golf tournament.
Right. but
There you go.
you need them here, right? And it doesn't matter what year you come, folks. We're going to keep doing this because I think we're going to have a time. June 25th,
Yes.
book your spot at aleshockeytales.com. That's the
On
only,
sale now.
I am just waiting for the poster to be made. I'm going to send it just like your video just got sent about your jackets, right?
I'll promote it. Send it over.
Well, people helping people. It's going to be a fun day, folks, wherever you come
Love
from.
Yep.
So we haven't even started your podcast yet, eh? We're still in the how we know each other.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to.
Do we really want to just?
I like being the guest. I don't know if hosting is. I got a lot of respect for you for hosting. I think it's a lot harder than just being a guest.
Well, you got to do a little bit of preparation, but one thing I don't want to skip over because the research team did see it.
Okay.
You are a big Mark Giordano fan.
I love Gio, man.
I saw your appreciation post, and you even said you'd like to tell him in person what he means to you. And like, what's cool? What's cool for me is like the shed guys that I have on now that are just my buddies. And like Dougie, like I didn't have a connection with him until I got naked in front of him, or like Mac, all those guys that like have come on to see my under 11 kids. And now those kids like literally love those guys, and that's who they aspire to be. And like, they play them on the video game, and like, it's so cool that they made the time to come on the pod while the kids were on. It's amazing what hockey players can do for children, right?
Yeah, 100%. And before there was Mark Giordano, there was Doug Lynch and Jeff Wywitka for the Red Deer Rebels. Yeah, in the Western Hockey
Jeff Wywitka, left shot number 4.
Yeah. They were
St. Louis Blue.
Yep.
Played
Memorial
with Dennis
Cup
Weidman
champions
from Elmira.
They were 2001 Memorial Cup champions with Shane Bandera in net. And Justin Mapletop was, I think, the leading scorer. Anyways, so that's my point, though, is like,
you remember that shit. I remember the Guelph Storm and the Kitchener Rangers from when I was a kid.
100%. I bet you I could probably. Do you know who else? I don't know if he played on that team, but he played eventually. Was Mossy Maramaki?
Who?
Mossy, Cardiff.
Oh, yeah.
He could be a good player on the shed too. He's been around.
Actually, I've actually discussed it with him. He is a confirmed shed guy, but I'm so busy. I always I got a lot of balls up in the air. It's like hard to figure out which one to grab. Yeah. Sometimes it just works out, right? Like when people paint jackets and it's like the video got released the moment he got to the shed.
Exactly.
It's like all the stars align. Weird how that works all the time.
So no, Mark Giordano. The other thing about Mark Giordano, so good on him for having his career and everything. But like, I'm telling you, I saw it game 1. I remember his rookie year, his first game, and it's regular season opener. And I was watching, I'm like, this guy's a player. And he went on to have a really good rookie season. And then that summer,
you were watching this on TV?
Yeah, I was 13 years old.
And when you watch a game and there's just guys that stick out to you, it's like the first time, every time I like to watch the World Juniors, and I only need to watch a period and I'm good because I know who's who. But the first time I saw Matthew Barzal skate around in the World Juniors, I was like, oh boy. Oh dear, that's sexy.
He's got flair, man. He's got that artistic flair out there.
And then guess what? Years later, my kid got a picture with him because my son snuck downstairs at an Islanders game.
Gio. Yeah, so I mean, the Flames were obviously. I grew up in Alberta, so like you either choose the Flames or the Oilers. I was actually
So what stuck out with you about Gio that game?
The way that he can walk the blue line, he's even early on, there's something about, he might even been playing the offside. But yeah, his ability to just get pucks through, and then he competes defensively. He's a good skater, but he's not like Scott Niedermayer smooth.
Those guys make me want to puke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
100%.
can't cheer
Yeah,
for
it's
them.
100%. Like,
They don't even sweat in a bag skate.
no, no. So he was like this hybrid mix. It was kind of like you could tell that he had worked for everything. Then you find out that he's undrafted and like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just
So you were
and then
13 when you, and that's the prime age, right? Kind of like my under 11 team. They're almost at the point where like they're just starting to watch games on TV
yeah,
and like really get into it. And I have
uh-huh.
like 1 year and I have 2 ages together on my team. And like
Mhm.
there is a difference from the oldest to the youngest, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. And at 14, I had this moment where I got passed in the WHL draft, and in Lacombe, it's a small town, like 10,000 people, and there was like 7 years in a row, somebody from Lacombe would get chosen in the WHL draft, and then it was my year, and I don't know. It's so stupid to think about now, but you're 14 years old. That was the goal.
And
Got
it
to
was
get drafted.
devastating. Yeah.
Yeah,
Devastating.
my older brother got drafted, and my best friend's older brother, he got drafted the year before that. So that was my goal, but I didn't get drafted, so I was devastated. And then a couple other like summer tournaments where you suck, and I remember just crying on the way home like a little bitch, and my dad being like,
I cry in the shed all the time, like a little bitch. Don't worry
yeah,
about
exactly.
it.
My dad was like, what is going on? It wasn't even an ice hockey tournament, it was inline hockey. And I like missed a breakaway to tie the game with 3 seconds left or something like that. And I just said, I was like, I'm just sick of sucking. And it was like that was it. I said it out loud, and I changed things. I made changes in my life, and like Mark Giordano was a guy that I looked up to model my game after, and
And it was
and
around that age, and you
yeah,
watch.
that was the age. That was the age.
For me,
So
I like what I guess how I would relate was like even in AAA growing up, like I wasn't the best player on the team. Like going
mhm.
into the draft year in the OHL, like they were the guys ranked A's and double A's, and then I was a C. And it's like, well, you're too small, you're too little, like you're never gonna make it. Like whether
Mhm.
you could even play in the OHL is doubtful because you're just too little. And it's like, well, then that's what you believe in yourself. And you're like, oh, and then until you actually deep down like believe you're better and can do it, you can't do it.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and then you do it, and
And then you
something
prove it to
inside of you.
yourself, and then
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, oh shit, really? Eh?
yeah. Well, then nobody can tell you differently anymore.
Well, it's like you doing the wedding speech playing the guitar. It's like I'm hearing that from people that like probably weren't even at that wedding.
Yeah, yeah, true. Maybe you just saw a video or
You
something. Yeah.
must have really rocked it.
You gotta
God.
laugh. You gotta laugh.
Still haven't even started all any of the notes. Okay, we're still in the how we know each other, and I wrote down Mark Giordano. Yeah. So no, it's the
Beautiful.
impact a guy can have, and I can see how, and then it segues into like growing up in Lacombe, but then I'm skipping a whole bunch. But how big is Lacombe?
Yeah, 12,000 when I was about 10 years old, and it's
And they're getting a guy
12,000.
drafted every year.
Yeah, well, we had a nice pipeline. You know what? Central Alberta, they got this great, like, old school, probably like, all hockey is like moving towards like these academies and like 24-hour hockey mutant robots. Like,
Yeah, no
I don't know.
personality, like just protein
Yeah.
shakes, workout, hockey, hockey, hockey,
I
skill,
don't want
skill,
to
skill.
I don't want to speak too much on it because I haven't been in these places. But here's the thing, man. When I was growing up, within a 2-hour radius in central Alberta, you had Lacombe, which obviously I played for, Innisfail, Pinoka, Red Deer, Rocky Mountain House, Sundre, Airdrie. I'm not even going to say Calgary and Edmonton because they kind of stuck to themselves. Just all these small towns olds. Uh,
And they all
I'd
had
say
good teams, right?
10 to 15 with good teams, good rivalries, good coaches, like volunteer dads, but like they knew their stuff, and those were fun days. And
Oh, stop
and
it. What are you doing to me today? That's
yeah,
that's what we're doing here at Kincardine. Like all the little
yeah.
towns around here, like
Mhm.
I'm still at the age where like all the kids haven't left for AAA yet, right? Or if they are
Yeah.
going to, and like you got all the different rivalries. Like so for us, like Walkerton has a hell of an age group, right? And we're
Yeah.
in a heated battle right now. We're up
That's
two
it.
game. We're up 2 games to 1 in a best of 5. We
So
won
sick.
one last night in overtime, and it was wild, man. Like I think I'm gonna have to start exercising because my heart, my heart was beating at an irregular rhythm. It was
So
nuts. We were up 3-1, and we were comfortable, and then all of a sudden they got 2, and then all of a sudden it's 3-3, and we're going to overtime, and it's like
and
holy moly.
the only the only difference between the level of intensity that those kids are bringing and like what I'm bringing to a professional match is people have to pay to watch me.
Yeah, no, like
That's it. It's the only difference.
the passion that these kids are playing with,
Yeah.
and the drive. It's like it's weird because like when I'm driving to the game, I feel like I'm driving to like I feel the same way as when I played. Like I'm that into it.
You're playing Sandstorm.
We are.
Darude.
I got my son in the back, and we are ready.
AC/DC soundtrack the whole way.
Oh
there.
man, I made a playlist for the boys, and then Colby's got the skull. That's our speaker. It's a skull, and we get the playlist on, and then we got our win song. All I do is
man.
win, and like I tell you, it's not like in an academy. Whatever those are like, I don't know. But what we're doing is hockey, and it's the way I want it to be. And having a team I get to coach and it be exactly how I want it to be. The players are all brothers. They all love each other. They do anything for each other, and they try so goddamn hard for each other. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's the best, man. Those kids will grow up and like remain best friends too. That's all.
And I see it happening, and I'm like, this bond between these kids, this is forever. And I guess, and like, because I came out here and I went out on a limb, and whether it's, seeing all these other people succeed in different shit, and you're like, why can't it be me for once? And then you come out here and you start doing this shit. It doesn't matter. I don't make money at this, really. I made enough money to buy my whole team shirts that are 2 Ales and Hockey Tales shirts with their names and numbers on the back. And you know what? I see them wear them like every day, and every day it just makes my knees like buckle. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to remember this forever.
I mean, you're only one massive guest away from, because that's the thing, man. You got content. And then like you might lock yourself into one massive guest that gets you this exposure.
But I ain't no jock sniffer. I ain't going around sniffing jocks.
No.
I want the guys. I want a guy that is helping mental health in Finland just because he's a good dude and he knows what's up. And yeah, I want character in my shed.
It's a character shed. We should spray paint that somewhere on it.
Oh my God.
Tattoo it on your roof. Right there. See, where's right over your left shoulder there. We could spray paint character on that plywood.
Oh shoot. But yeah, no, like I did used to just like reach out to whoever, right? And it's like now it's like I can be like, those are the people I want. You see what they're doing, you're like, that's a guy I want in my shed, right?
Well, I saw people throwing Twix chocolate bars on the ice in Cardiff and thought to myself, I need to be a part of this community.
It's the shed family is what it's called. It's not a community. It's a family. And the stuff that's gone on, man. So it's like, I never played for Sheffield. They had Kit Kats, thousands of them for Kit Kat, get that. And yeah, it's wild.
Love it. There you go.
Fun stuff. But yeah,
Nice.
It's like when you say like one guest away, it's like, I want to, that song, Good Day for Living. It's like, I want to do it for the love. I want to do it because I love this and it's fun. And it's what I want to do. And maybe I am one pod away from someone reaching out and being like, hey, we're going to pay you to do this.
There you go. Well, the
never
real
know.
ones recognize it. That's what matters.
What matters also is that we're going to have a time at the Ainsdale Golf Course.
Yes, plug it. Tell them where people can get their tickets.
AlesHockeyTales.com, folks. And speaking of your junior part, which we're going to get into your actual hockey career at some point, right?
The hockey's the boring stuff.
I know that. That's what we talked about. But my junior team, the Elmira Sure Kings, that's the raffle I have up right now at my website, AlesHockeyTales.com. And they donated a jersey, and it is to help Friends of Hockey, which is my buddy who's a shed guy, has a charity in Elmira that pays for kids equipment and registration who can't afford hockey to help kids get into hockey because it is so flipping expensive now. So
it's a joke.
Yeah. So we have a jersey up and I get to go out to center ice to the Elmira Arena, and I've hardly been there in 20 years, and I get to go out and donate a check. So please, folks, don't embarrass me. Buy a few tickets, whether you want the jersey or not. Just please help me give a check that means something to Friends of Hockey to help more kids play hockey.
Yeah, I couldn't be more on board with that. I've thought about that exact thing where it's like hockey's too expensive. There needs to be a way for kids that.
And it's like, so what, if you don't go to one of these academies, then you're not good enough because your parents don't have 20 G's a year or what? Like,
yeah, I mean,
is that how this works?
I played with a guy, Tanner Fritz in Ohio State. He made the NHL the hard way. And I'm worried that guys like Tanner Fritz growing up right now will not be able to do what Tanner Fritz did. You know,
what exactly did he do? How did he do it the hard
way?
way?
He's born in Grand Prairie, Alberta.
Yeah.
So like
minor hockey at home.
Yeah. Minor hockey at home, northern Alberta. Like Don Cherry used to always say, if you're good enough, people will find you. And that's true. But like, you need to get on this development path at a young age to be able to compete. And so anyways, Tanner's story is, he played in Grand Prairie and like he didn't play AAA programs because they were too far away to drive. And his parents were busy living and working, and they're not driving 2 hours to practice per day and stuff like that. So he grinded, and then he played for the Grand Prairie Storm, his local junior team, and then that's where he finally got his exposure, was in junior A, and then he got his college scholarship, and then from college he went to the ECHL, to the AHL, to the NHL. So he did it the hard way. But my point is, like, I don't know if that path is realistic. It wasn't realistic back then, and it's even less realistic now.
Oh, you should see what it's. That is wild stuff, right? And everybody thinks they need to do more. And it's like, I think they should like also have a summer and do other sports and like be kids and like have fun. And then to come the next season, they're excited to play hockey again.
Fired up. Yeah.
It's like, so my team, just shout out to my under 11, my Canucks, because they are my favorite team in the world, right?
So if you win this series, then what happens? We would go to the All Ontario Finals, a tournament in Windsor. Yeah. There you go. And that's like provincials.
Yes, that is the whole kit and caboodle, as they would say.
That's the Mecca.
We need to win tonight, and we book our ticket. So then the other part of it, though, is there would be 3 winners of these series that would all be going to the All Ontarios. We would play a round robin between the 3 teams, so we'd have 2 more games to determine the champion moving into All Ontario, but all 3 of us will be going.
Sick. Okay.
So my heart is got a lot to get through here the next little bit. Tonight's going to be intense.
You're talking to me right now, but you're actually thinking about tonight's game.
No, I'm prepared. I know we're good. We had all year to prepare for this. Like the kids love each other. They're a family, and they will do anything for each other. the work is done.
How much have you been in contact with Lordo, talking systems and like psychological?
I'm not an X and O's guy, buddy. I just go with the gut. I'm more of a pregame speaker.
Yes, okay, I love
So
that.
me and the other coach, he'll go in, he'll do his X's and O's speech, he'll get him going to bed, and then I don't say anything about that. I just do the speech.
Okay.
Different than the one you saw. Different than the one you saw. It's different.
Yeah, you're keeping your clothes on around the kids. That's important.
Yeah, that is, yeah. That's why you have to do all, that's why you have to do all those videos before to get approved. You know, like you will not do this. I'm like, no, you're right. I won't.
Yeah, correct.
But I am gonna have my whole under 11 team on soon here. Hopefully they can finish this off tonight, and then we can lock down a time to chat in the shed, right?
Nice. Love that.
Okay. Sorry, we're really sidetracked here, man. Because I haven't asked yet where and what are you doing now, but we talked about the Jackets, but you are playing in the Finnish Elite League, which is that's a high-end league, sir.
It is. It's good. It's extremely challenging. It's been one of the more rewarding things of my career. It's been how do I say this? So when I went to Greenville, I was re-signed to go back to Cardiff, by the way. I know a lot of Cardiff Devils fans will probably be listening to this.
Mm-hmm. That's our honey hole.
Especially Mick and Steve. They sponsored me in Cardiff, and
good shout out there.
They it's important to say that. So hello, Mick and Steve. But my point is, I was content, more than content. I was ecstatic.
In Cardiff, you loved Cardiff. It was fun.
I loved it. I loved it.
And Boston was going to be going back too, right? You guys would have been living together.
Boston was going back, and we were going to take it year by year. We had talked about some music stuff, but like we had committed to going back for another year and maybe working more on some music stuff, whatever. Anyways, COVID hits, the league doesn't happen. I follow Lordo to Greenville with Reddick, Boston, Joey, and went off that year. Points guy, first time in my life, just cookie monster.
You're killing the research team here. I found all this.
Yeah. I know. Okay, so credit to you for knowing all this. So anyway,
you still only had 3 goals.
Yeah. Just give it to the skill guys.
I told you, I gave you your intro. Now I get to start chirping you a bit.
Yeah. Give it to the skill guys.
That is
run it from the top. Run it from the top. Take a lesson from Morgan Riley. Just give it to your flank guys on the power play. That's the ticket.
And then just a twisted wrister into traffic, and then the guys bang her home, and then you get a greasy apple. I know.
Yes. Precisely. So, even at the time that we could have re-signed back in Cardiff after Greenville, there was still a lot of stuff up in the air.
Well, you just became first team All-Star in the Coast, which isn't easy to do.
It's but I had not completely ruled out going to Cardiff, but I didn't know if there was going to be a reliable league
season. Yeah.
And I had a really good offer in Bratislava. So I took it, and I took it thinking to myself, okay, I would like to be playing in a top league in Europe within 3 years. And by top league, I'm saying Finland, Sweden, obviously KHL. That's, a bit of a pipe dream, but Finland, Sweden, Switzerland, and Germany. I think the Del 2, not the Del 2, but the Del 2 TOO.
Well, honestly, the DEL or the DEL2, like it is like they're both the kind of the same wages.
Yeah, true. So anyways, being here in Finland now, within months of having that like 3-year goal set out, is cool. It's sweet. It's how it all
you're there. You did it. You wanted, and so I guess how I relate to that one is when I went over there, I had the same aspirations, and first year in Landsuit, we go to the finals. I did okay, but I did well in the playoffs. So then I get signed to the big budget, run amok, second in the league. We win the championship. I was like, really doing her. And then I had options to go to the DL, and I just chose to stay in Bietigheim because I thought we'd go up with them. And then I hurt my knee and it never happened,
Yeah.
But I was there. I know what you mean. And like when you have a goal and you're driven, and then there's guys that come over that had one hell of a North American career, and they come over and they're like tourists for a year, and you can tell they don't have the drive that they're not trying to get to the next step when they get over there. They're just playing.
Yeah. Yeah. It works for some guys that way. And well, it's interesting what happens too when you go to Europe and you don't have the NHL aspirations pushing you anymore too.
Right. But then the guys that did get a cup of coffee in the NHL are always the ones that are sought after. And it's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's something.
And the guys that don't ever get the NHL games on the resume, that can get to the Finnish league, that can get to the Swedish league, that can get to the KHL, man. It's like guys like me in the shed are so proud of you.
Yeah. Oh man. You gotta really hunker down for a bit, You do.
You can't be complaining about apartments and this cars.
No.
Teams don't like that shit in the lower leagues.
No. Yeah. Well, I know there's general managers and coaches like they start doing their homework on guys. If they get two people saying bad things about you, they'll cross you off immediately.
Well, yeah, there's enough players out there. Yeah.
It's 2-strike rule. Like you can get one guy, like maybe, for whatever reason, a coach didn't like you or something. So yeah, one guy didn't like it. If you hear it from the second one, it's like, okay, next. Who else can I send?
The funny thing is I still know the guy that told Lordo something bad about me, because after that year, Lordo said to me, he goes, so, I almost didn't sign you because so-and-so said this about you. And he's like, but I know he's an effing loser anyways.
Yeah, there you go. You know what Lordo said to me when he was recruiting me? He wanted me, and this was not a big thing. And to this day, I don't know who said this about me, but Lordo calls like 30 people when he's trying to sign somebody. And Lordo goes, yeah, I heard you're a bit of a weirdo when it comes to your food. Is that going to be a problem? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I heard that you bring your own smoothies on the bus and maybe like your own pregame and stuff like that. And I go, yeah, healthy food. He goes, yeah, like what's the deal with that? Is that going to be a problem? I go, I'm a professional athlete, Lordo. I like to eat healthy. And it's like this little cat and mouse game. Are you telling me that I shouldn't take care of my body with good, healthy food on the bus instead of another greasy pizza wheel after, or 3 and 3?
Kebab, maybe?
Yeah, it's like, he goes, yeah, good point. Okay, so are we going to sign this thing or what? It was like the last thing. It was the last little speed bump that he had to ask.
He had that, and the little speed bump he had for me was I was at this house. There's no shed in the backyard yet, folks, but we were walking through the house. Colby was like a little bugger, and we signed the deal in Cardiff the day I bought this house.
Nice. Let's go.
Yeah. And now we have the shed in the backyard.
All right. Yeah.
But he brought up his little
start spray painting the roof.
He brought up his
character.
And you know what? My little speed bump was because that effing loser in Bietigheim, who I never even played with. I never even played with this guy, said I drink too many beers.
Huh.
Could you imagine someone saying that about me? The nerve.
The nerve. Fair enough.
I'll still never forgive you, and you're never coming to my shed, buddy. You know who you are if you're listening. You probably aren't because you're a loser.
His scales are just a perspective, by the way. His too many is maybe not. But
I'm not talking about Lordo. I'm talking about the guy that said that.
Yeah,
it was a guy that played at Bietigheim that I had never played with. He didn't know me. I don't know him, and I'm like, you sound like a loser because I would never speak on about someone that I don't know.
That's that. Yeah. Too
You
many
know?
for him might be like 2 or 3 with dinner.
Right. And it's like, well, are you a hockey player? And did you win the game? Like, what's going on?
Fair enough. Yes.
Are you like, I don't know, in Elmira, you'd win a couple games on a weekend and then you go for chicken wings and beers and you know,
Hey,
that's what
hey,
we
well,
did.
good for that guy for getting 8 hours of sleep every night.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Whatever.
So anyways, random question, because hockey talk's not as fun. You're in Finland, right? Where and what are you doing now? That's where we're at, I think.
Yeah.
You get into saunas yet?
Yeah, big time. And actually, I got into saunas when I was playing in Orlando with
Really?
Kyle Rankin. Shout out to Ranks.
Sorry,
And
who?
Kyle Rankin, he was a
Oh, I think
teammate of mine. He's from Ottawa, Ontario. Good friend.
okay, just because I thought you said Kyle Rank, who's the guy that has friends of hockey who are auctioning off the Elmira Shirt Kings jersey for aleshockeytales.com. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rankin, not Rank. Okay.
No, so we got on the sauna program, and
once you're on it, it's hard to get off, isn't it?
It is. In fact, so leads me to my next point. I went home. I don't know if it was that summer or the summer later, but I bought one of those Costco infrared saunas. And my parents, fancy this or not, I still live with my parents in the summertime, 28 years old. But
that's okay.
So they're not charging me rent, which is nice of Lynn and Ted. Leonard Scared.
Shout out to them. Thanks for
shout out. So I thought, like they're the folks, they're not making me pay rent. This is really nice of them. And I love
you
saunas
bought them
so
a
much.
Sauna.
I bought them a sauna.
Nice.
Bought them a sauna. And I obviously use
How much did it cost you? Because I bet you mine was cheaper.
About $2,400.
I got an infrared on the Facebook spit and swap around local here when COVID was really hitting. And for some reason, they put one up on the spit and swap for $500 and the wife saw it. And I was like, I always wanted a sauna, but I never thought I'd ever be able to afford one. And then I saw that and I'm like, I have to do this.
Yes.
I love it. It changed my life. I love it.
It's amazing. We got one in the locker room, so I'm able to do one pretty much every day. But the thing that I love the most, and the way that I have been able to like bond with our Finnish guys, like and the Finns are good people. They accept you immediately, but you're not an honorary son of Finland until you go like a full sauna, like sauna, jump into the Gulf of Finland, back out, back in, like back and forth. It's like a 2-hour adventure.
How cold is that getting in that?
It's freezing, but man, there is nothing that makes your body feel physically better and mentally too.
Man, it's literally like, so if it's not a pod night, there's some cuddling that goes on maybe sometimes, but for the most part, if I get to choose what I do, I'm either having a sauna before bed or it's first thing when I wake up.
Amazing.
Yeah, it can start a great day having a sauna, or it can end a day. Great times.
And you do it's either you do some really good thinking in there or no thinking at all.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. It can be quiet in there and you think. What's up?
Yeah, I'm gonna take these out.
Oh boy. You don't sound good yet. There you go. Let's see what happens. Put those away. How are we doing now? I can't even hear you now. Are you there? Nope, you're not even there. Put them back in. What are you doing? Stop it. Put them. Oh, are you? This is not a good part of the show. I don't have an editing team. I can't hear you talk. You got to put it back in, man. You're a mess.